Um, okay, I'm a few minutes late for the 6 o'clock scheduled, and I'm laughing that I'm going live. I just dropped Johanna off at her car. We had just made the video in the Joshua Tree Desert, and because I said I'd go live at 6, here I am in the car. This is probably the first time I've ever done a video in the dark in the car, and I had such a nice time with her. I hadn't seen her in about, I don't know, I think 8 months. And as always, when you see a sister or soul sibling, it's just so heartwarming and inspirational. And we had all kinds of conversation about what it's like to be an artist and need time alone, and what it's like to be a positive woman and to be in partnership. Wasn't it so nice to meet Johanna? I mean, she's just so inspirational and forward thinking and talented. So you can look up Dust Ceramics. I do not know how to spell right at the moment her Instagram handle for her art. We had a lot of fun and a lot of conversation and a lot of just like-minded connection. I'm sitting outside of this art place, Joshua Tree Health Foods. I went in earlier and got some more electrolytes, which really help when you're out in the desert. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for being here. Do you guys have any questions? This is like in between. This is in between the time when you're with your friend in the desert and you can make a video, and the time when you're home or at your your hotel kitchen and you can make a persimmon pudding. This is just really an in between. Here, yeah, the health food store and a beautiful art and lighting store. Joshua Tree is so pretty. And there's Palm Springs, which is a little more hoopla and less nature. It's like an oasis, and there's shopping. And Joshua Tree has cool stores. It has the Natural Sisters Cafe, which is organic and lovely. Beautiful landscape. Where I'm staying is about 40 minutes away, so I have about a 40-minute drive. You just watched the persimmon pudding from 7 years ago? Wow. Did I use the hachia, the soft hachia persimmons, or did I use the flat fuyu? Because at home, I have the flat and hard fuyu. And then I also have really, really ripe hachia, the water balloon ones. And I could make a pudding. Oh, and I ripened them in the freezer. I forgot about that you could do that. Wow. And then before I left, so I visited Farmer and the Dale. That's in Desert Hot Springs where I'm staying. Rich is the proprietor, and they have the most gorgeous fruit. So I went back again, and he was very happy to see me. And he suggested I try the Thai bananas. So I came home and I put 4 little bananas in a blender with water, a pinch of salt. If I had vanilla, I would have put vanilla in. I didn't. It was like a pudding. And then I took the passion fruit, which his passion fruits are rounder. They're not puckered. And I put the seeds on top, and it was crunchy and sweet on top of the banana pudding, which I could probably have again for dinner. You know, breakfast for dinner, but not pancakes or waffles. I've been having so much fun with the produce, just when I'm hungry, cutting a tomato and sprinkling salt on it, or having cut up tomato and avocado with salt, even a little bit of olive oil, a squeeze of lime. It's been such a fruit party. I did get purslane, so I got some more purslane, which I feel purslane and the Nopali's cactus are very soothing for your intestines. They add moisture and hydration. I am imagining eating prickly pear or things that grow in the desert is extra good for you while you're in the desert. And it seems to be working because I'm not dehydrated in the least. So I drink alkaline water. I put electrolytes in my water at times. I have lemon water a lot and a lot of raw foods. And what else can I tell you? I don't know. I was like, Cass is in Russia, and she was like, she saw me go live and she joined us, and she helps me with my YouTube channel. And she's like, are you going to go live? And I'm like, I'm in the car in the dark. But here I am. Somebody say something. So you can hear me, right? Ah, it's been a lovely day. Well, that's a really good question. Are you going to do a video of Dust Ceramics Studio? And the answer is yes. I'm going to go during the day. Hi, Fruit Girl. And I'm going to show you her studio, which is really where she lives, and it is filled with her fabric weavings and her paintings and her pottery, and just, it's really an artist residence, like super inspiring. So I will do that. And it's out in Landers. Like, I would not be able to drive there at night and find it and find my way home. No lights. As it is, I have to make sure I take the main roads home. It's dark here in the desert. What can I tell you else? Oh, you know Dust Ceramics. Great. Yeah, she does. They do beautiful work. Okay, we will talk about our creative process. That's a great idea. And we'll hear from her, because you can always hear from me. So I definitely want to hear her talk about her creative process for sure. That will be very interesting. She was already talking about how she wears linen in the desert, and how some people are like, wow, you look so good in linen. And she's thinking, yes, why would you wear sports clothes in the desert and not let all body parts breathe? And we were giggling. And she was talking about being able to let go. You know, she is from Poland, and she has kind of, like she said, like a frugal mentality, more like you've got to repurpose things. You don't let go of things. And she said the most beautiful thing. She said, I think about, you know, when I have 20 glass vases and I think maybe I only need 4, but I love this vase so much. How can I let go of it? And then she tells herself that she has a sister somewhere that could walk into a thrift shop and fall in love with the vase just like she did. So she has like a beautiful way of talking to herself. Okay, the noise last night. So Jessica Rose is aware. You must have been on Instagram when I made a video to distract myself. So I'm staying at a really quiet spa-like place. And in walks a lady who asks the manager to ask me if it's okay if she smoked CBD cigarettes. And I'm thinking it's an e-cigarette and who cares? It's vape, whatever. And then she's like, no, it's CBD and they sell it at the spa next door. And I was like, what? Oh, okay. Like, I couldn't say, it wasn't my place. It was not my place. And I was like, all right. And the next thing you know, she's lighting up and she's literally in the middle of the hot springs pool with her smoky thing, smoke. And I'm like, what? And she's playing her music loud and singing loud. And I'm like, what's happening here? This place has been so quiet for days. In fact, the reason I decided to stay till Saturday is because I hadn't felt like I had been floating on. I have a peaceful life, don't get me wrong, and there isn't really stress, but there was no outside stress. There was no outside noise. There was no Wi-Fi or 5G. In fact, the Wi-Fi in my room is intermittent, and I kind of like that, because then I'm like, all right, well, that means that I'm not getting a lot of Wi-Fi signals or electromagnetic currency and 5G anything. So I'm like, oh, that's contributing to my peace. So I decided I'm going to stay till Saturday. And as I'm deciding, this lady shows up and she creates like a scene and stress. Like, I was like, what's happening? And the man who was running the place, he was stressed. Like, he was startled by her, and he knew I shouldn't have been in the position to say whether she smokes or listens to loud music. So basically what happened was, he had to go, he left. He leaves at 6, and I'm left with the noise. And she set the tone, so the couple that had just checked in, they're in the pool laughing really loud with her, and the lady of the couple starts having wine. And the volume goes up of their voices, and I'm like, oh my God, what's gonna be happening here tonight? Like, I heard the word casino, I heard the word, do you want a beer? I'm like, the whole thing just changed and my body tensed up. So I did 2 things. I took Pathos, which Alexis Smart, who's a very dear friend of mine who lives out here, and I got to spend time with her. She gave me her latest, which is herbal flower remedy tincture for empaths. So I took that, And then I said, I'm going to do my Taurus North Node stuff. I am going to make a beautiful meal. And then I'm going to do my Gemini Midheaven, which is communicate with you guys. And I made a video on Instagram. I tried to go live on YouTube, but it didn't work. So I went on Instagram. The video got deleted. It never happened. The tail end of Mercury retrograde, perhaps. But I did what makes me happy, and the situation dissolved itself to the point where at night I went out to the soak in the pool by myself, and the brother of the loud sister came out and he goes, "You're so quiet." I was like, "That's why I'm here. It's so wonderful how quiet he is." And then somehow we talked about age, and I told him I was 55. Well, I'm going to be 55 next month. And he was like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah, it's fruit and vegetables." He's like, "I want to eat only fruit and vegetables. I eat a lot of vegetables." So he was like, "You're so quiet, and it should be quiet here, and you're right." And he was referring to his sister, how she wasn't getting it. Anyway, this morning, she must have left him. He had soaked his phone by mistake in the pool, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, he has no food. I said, "Let me make you a fruit bowl." So I made him one of my bowls, and he's just like, the whole situation dissolved itself. And the couple that was loud, they were supposed to stay until Saturday, and they left today. So it all really, the question was, why was I in that situation? How was I going to handle it? And how was I going to let it not stress me out? Because, and I was so startled that it was happening. Like, that's just not how they're advertised, as a very, very quiet place. And the rule is you have to be respectful. So she was going to be reprimanded. There wasn't any question of that. But I think what happened was they got out of wherever they were living to avoid election day madness. And so they came amped up and revved up, and I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know why somebody would go, and I'm not in an alcohol, and I'm not in the mode to escape anything by escaping, or escape anything by doing drugs or alcohol. It was just a reminder that's what people do. And it didn't, it just went away. It resolved itself. So I took my tinctures. I made my gorgeous no polys. The video was like noise, no polys, and there was some other N. It ended up sorting itself out. But the biggest takeaway is that here I was, relax, relax, relax. My cells were so at peace. And then stress came, and I could feel the cortisol rise in my body. And I was like, I have to sort this out, because you can't live consistently with a cortisol influx, and you get your adrenals. It can't sustain itself for that long without it really poorly affecting your health and poorly affecting your immune system. So the food is great. The way I've been eating is great, but you can see, and the piece that I've been doing is great, but if you remain with stressors in your life, because I told myself, I can go, like, I have a choice. I can put headphones in, I can watch a movie, I can make a video with you guys, and I can also get in my car. Once you realize you have a choice, it kind of calms you down. But to live with stressors is probably worse than the worst kind of food. So that was my big, like, aha, we need to know how to manage stress. We need to know which tinctures from Alexa Smart to take. We need to know, maybe it's CBD. Maybe we know to take a bath. Maybe we know to hop on and make a video. So that's really what happened. And so this morning I made him a beautiful breakfast, and she wasn't anywhere to be found, and the other couple removed themselves, and I think it's going to be really quiet tonight. We'll see. I don't know, but it's only for tonight because I know they leave tomorrow. So it was a beautiful outcome. Such a good question, Fruit Girl. I don't know. Oh, you'd rather watch me than, hi Bridget, than the election madness. I unplugged, thank you. I unplugged, I told the young man who is 40, and he said, it was really sweet. He's like, "I'm so nervous. You're just so beautiful." And I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." It was really cute. Anyway, I told him to unplug because he said he's nervous about today. And I was like, "Do you know I unplugged my TV?" And he's like, "I can't do that." I'm like, "You kind of can." He's like, "Yeah." I go, "Whatever you need to know is going to come to you." And then I told him I unplugged my AC as well. I unplugged the AC. I haven't used AC at all. And I unplugged the TV. And I have books, I have watercolors, and I can watch a nice, lovely program. You got to mind what you eat in your mouth, and what Johanna said, mind what your mind watch what your mind eats. And I thought that was such a good way to put it. What is your mind eating? What are you putting on? So no AC, no TV. Stressors will come in because that's life, right? Like an animal out in the wild is gonna like perk up, produce cortisol, get the adrenaline going when they have a fight or flight. Like, you know, a small animal, a big animal comes, and the small animal has to get alerted, and then everything focuses on how to keep them alive. But then shortly thereafter, they're not in a sustained state like we are, thinking about like what I was starting to do. Oh my God, what if this happens tonight? What if it's going on all night? What if I'm left alone and I've got to confront this lady? What if this is going to go on for days? That's where we start having the stress be prolonged. So this was a perfect example that it's really good for us to remind ourselves that it will be taken care of for us. We can stand up for ourselves. We can call the manager, and then we can say, okay, I'm going to do what I do to soothe myself. And that's when the magic happens. We have to take care of ourselves, and then the universe will take care of us for us. So I was staying Friday, Cindy Lou, I decided to stay Friday to Monday. And when I got there, I was like, this place is quiet and amazing. I'll stay till Thursday. And then yesterday I was like, I'm gonna stay till Saturday, and then I'm going home. That's my big, I haven't been away in a year, which is really rare for me. I normally like bike around town, walk around town, do my loops, do my walking, and then I hop on an airplane. And there's been no airplane hopping. I don't have a car. I rented a car for a week, and then I drove. So I think I need to do these little road trips more often, but there has to be a place that feels as clean, clear, and bright as my home. So so the book is, let's see. Thank you for saying, Jessica, your light is such a wonderful influence. Excellent realization, so true about the stress. You're getting a Vitamix. Maybe you only want to get a NutriBullet. I favor them sometimes. I favor my NutriBullet 900. Certainly for traveling on road trips, and certainly for making cashew cheeses and thicker things. I really like it. Untethered Soul. Thank you. I'm going to get that. See, so I can read. I can watercolor. I showed Johanna my watercolors, and she's like, these need to be wallpaper. So you can join the Dubi, at the Dubi Universe on Instagram. You can join me, Dara Dubinet. I showed the whole episode of what was going on last night. Oh, it really is. The NutriBullet is hard to unscrew if you have anything arthritic. Or sometimes it like lodges itself and I have to use a towel and open it, or just wait a minute until something about the pressure. I can see that. I can understand that. So a Vitamix is great. Yeah, I've had that happen where it's hard to open. I've had smoothies in my, 100%. I made an all banana smoothie, and I actually can't wait to have one when I go home. An all banana smoothie with a pinch of salt. I don't have vanilla, but a pudding smoothie. And then Netflix or a book, maybe Untethered Soul, maybe I'll watercolor. I think being away from home for me, and just having the kitchen and the bed and the soaking pool is so nice, because I realize at home I'll want to do the laundry, and then I'll do this, and then I'll fix, literally the other day I was trying to write take the doobies to the next level and put them in a story. And I'm sitting in the kitchen and I look at the shelves, and all the shelving has really cool cacao nibs and chickpeas, and almost a little bit prepper like, because when all this started happening, I'm like, I should have rice and beans and nuts and seeds, and some of it ended up just out, like cans of stuff And I was like, I don't know that I want to look at that. And then I was like, what's above the refrigerator in the cabinet? And then I found all of my, I haven't used them in years. Like when I was a raw food chef, I made raw food cheesecakes, the spring pans. There were 5 or 6 of them. Heart-shaped pie dishes, all baking, like things to do icing out of, and I haven't used them, and I took it all out, dumped it in the laundry room, and put the extra food up there. So now when I go home, I need to deal with all that stuff, and I need to give it away because I don't have space for it, even though it's perfectly good raw food dessert stuff. So I was thinking of putting together a box and doing a giveaway. Thank you. It's fun to watch me when I travel because my North Node is in the 9th house of travel, and I'm supposed to be doing it. It's part of my Dharma. So you'll see when I travel, I do my Taurus North Node thing, which is I find good produce and I make beautiful food. That's part of the Taurus thing, enjoying bounty from the earth, and going slow and making food. But the other piece that's equally as important is that I do far travel, more than 30 miles from my home, and that I explore. And so when you see me exploring, which is the 9th house North Node, and you see me doing Taurus stuff, it's going to make you happy because it's making my soul happy. So you can see it and feel it. I think that's part of the magic of it. Plus, I get more creative because all of a sudden I'm faced with no romaine that like I normally have, and no organic arugula, but all of a sudden I have purslane and nopali. So I'm making a sauteed nopali salad and making do with what I have. I'm rigging up the phone in the car, or I'm rigging up, because I could be home in my kitchen. So it prompts creativity, it prompts variety, and I think that's fun. And I think that traveling out of our comfort zone makes us more alive. So do we have anything, you wish you could go away alone. I highly recommend it, even for a night or two, if you can. NutriBullet, I put hot liquids in it, but I don't recommend it to people. I recommend blending your liquid and then heating up your liquid on the saucepan, because I have heard people have hurt themselves. And blending up soups. I really love the NutriBullet. It's less expensive and it's actually preferable, I have to say. If you're cooking, if you're making food for like more than 2 people, if you're by yourself, NutriBullet all the way. Istanbul, hi Lydia. I'm watching a show that is based in its subtitles, and it's called Love Me As I Am. And it's very slow and very lovely, and I'm getting the vibes from Turkey, and I love it. So we are on the same wavelength. I'm happy to see you in Istanbul. I love kilims, and I would love to visit one day. The NutriBullet 900 is the one I have. It's easy, it's convenient, it travels well. Lydia. Love me as I am. I love you too. The show is so lovely. It's so slow paced. It can just be on for the scenery. Smilene saw the drama last night and all worked out. It all worked out. I'm so blessed. I'm also really lucky that that cholo porky thing didn't end up in my foot. It ended up on my rubber sandal earlier. Hello, Suze. Love you too. So we're in the parking lot by Joshua Tree Health Foods, and I am gonna go home. And I'm glad Cass suggested that I go live, even though I went live earlier. Oh, Alan, you'll be visiting your daughter. Well, you know my loop. I go to the beach, then I go up Abbot Kinney to Creation, and then to Erewhon. So you will definitely see me in the hood. I got my loops. Yeah, it all worked out. It all really unbelievably blessedly worked out. Like the couple in question with the wine and the volume. It's alcohol volume. And someone, oops, sorry. Someone asked me if I drink alcohol, and the answer is no. And when I was raw, I didn't drink alcohol really. Maybe I had wine once in a while, but alcohol doesn't make me feel well. It puts a little chink in my armor. It makes me go down a notch a little bit in energy level and just feeling good. And I do think it's not for me. I'm not quite hardy enough to process. Plus, as you make more turns around the sun, you will see that it serves you and suits you less and less. Alcohol does the same. I want to be clean, clear, and bright all the time. I want to be awake, and I want to, when I'm thinking of eating something or drinking something, I want to feel the same, if not better. I want to feel as good making it, procuring whatever it is, that's fun, then creating it, making it, serving it, eating it, drinking it has to feel good, and then the after. I want to feel as good or better than all of those other things. So that dictates what I do, right? I don't want to feel worse. Cindy Lou, you're 54. I'm 54 too. December 28th, 1966. I will be 55 in December. So I think that's it for now. Under 30 minutes, not bad. And we got to connect, and we're going to have more connecting. 1966, it was a good year. So you have a Taurus North Node too. But you got to know the house placement. Equally as important, and it's on my website. Laura B, you too? How fun. More juice, more smoothies, no alcohol. May 1966. How awesome. We got some 1960. What a fine year it was. All right, you guys, big hugs. I'm really grateful. Thank you, Cass, for prompting this, because I was just going to drive home and I would have missed out on this great moment. So I'm really grateful for your help over there in Russia, and for you guys being here. Big hugs. And our new schedule, Cass said it's up on our community bulletin board. Is that correct? do we have a bulletin board or notifications? My sun, moon. What's your sun and moon? My sun is Capricorn and my moon is Cancer. Polarity. I've dealt with it my whole life. You'll know me by my Cancer moon, because the community tab has our times for showing up regularly, twice a week. So Capricorn, I'm like a little goat. I got to climb up. I got to get a good view. I got to climb to the top. I have to be good at what I do. And I have to also nurture, and I'm very Cancerian. I have sun in the 4th house. So somebody messaged me a great comment on the last video I need to answer about being from New Jersey and being this and having all these similarities. Hi, Sarah, February. Jersey girls in the house. So we have a lot of similarities between all of us. I have Russian heritage, and Cass is in Russia, and we got Jersey girls, and we got 1966 ladies in the house. So we do, even if none of that is true for you and you're here, we're all under the Dara umbrella. It's all a family of the sweetest, most beautiful souls. And this I know to be true, because I've met a lot of you in person. I've run into you, I've met you, and I know this. Hugs, hugs, and more hugs. And you can understand me, a Scorpio with a Taurus moon. Tsunami. It's a great group. It's a great group. So it's over on Instagram too. And Jersey Shore girl, Emma. Wow, isn't that funny? So how many people are from New Jersey right now? Leave comments. You know what would be fun? Leave comments. First of all, leave comments what you'd like to see from me, because I do want to know. And also where you're watching from, where you are at the moment. And if you do know your astrogeography, what line you're on. And sometimes a lot of you are watching me in California and you have good astrogeography here. So you can go look on my website how to look it up. Big hugs, know your north nodes, and definitely get your greens on. Chatham is so close to Livingston, where I'm from. Sarah, February, you're the one who knew my mom in Short Hills. Put these in the comments. after I hang up too, if you don't mind. Melbourne, Australia. How beautiful. You know my mama, Beverly Fisher Designs. She had a store for 25 years in Short Hills, New Jersey. Exactly. I mean, to know my mom, she was just such a cool cat, such an Aquarius, such an out-of-the-box thinker, and taught me much that I know. Thanks, Mom. Grateful. So grateful. And she would love you all. Really. I kind of look like my mama. I know. Her forehead was smaller than mine, but she was so cute and beautiful, and thank you. Phoenix, Arizona. I feel like heading that way. Aww. Chicago. Food, art. She did adore me. Okay, now I'm going to cry. She did. Cancer moon's a sweet moon. And my mama was precious and talented and really loving. Like, loved her children. Like, loved and would do anything. Give me the shirt off her back. She's all around me. Oh, I'm going to be so happy and teary-eyed on my way home. Okay, you guys. Yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for what she taught me, and grateful for being here and doing what I love, and being able to, out of all the things that I've done, to be able to have this kind of global community is unbelievable. Cindy Lou, Jersey girl too. So join me on Instagram because I'm there a lot. And yeah, it makes me smile too. So everybody, a big warm hug to each other. And no matter what happens tonight or any day coming forward, the best we can do is grow our bubbles of love and be shining examples of love, and grow the good and diminish the fear. You gotta learn to love your astrology. I'm not a fan. I have to say, we gotta reframe. So next video we can talk about that. My Thanksgiving video with my mom, and she taught me to peel the portobello mushrooms, the top of them off. Beverly is in the house. I feel her. Love you, Mama. And she is telling you guys to listen to me about the food. It makes a difference. It was such a classic video. Good night, loves, and I will see you super soon.